everybody. This is not a rat turd. This is a chocolate-covered coffee bean. And today I am going to be sampling a variety of sweet treats that have been lying around my house in the aftermath of Christmas. So, we are going to start off with this humble chocolate-covered coffee bean. And I have a little bent piece of cardboard tubing here that I'm going to use as a little pointer. And I also have espresso. Here, I have some espresso to help offset the sweetness of the various candies that we are going to be tucking into today. So I will start out with a sip of my espresso, which is a little hot, so I'll hold it by the handle. Oh, that's just delightful. We had some good crema on top there. And now for our humble chocolate-covered coffee bean. That's very good. The chocolate on it is pretty dark. I normally prefer more dark chocolate than that, but it's still pretty good. It's darker than most milk chocolates anyways. I should say, I don't have too much of a sweet tooth. I definitely liked, or like baked goods. You know, cookies, cakes, and things. But even then, I'm kind of picky. I don't really like frosting. Or, fondant or other things that are kind of too oppressively sweet to my tongue. And then when it comes to candy, I like chocolate mainly. got this from a surplus furniture sale at a college in the state. And they were being offloaded for, a couple bucks. So we got a bunch of tables and chairs for the apartment for probably under 20 bucks. All right. Let's pull out our next item. So this is a KitKat bag, and this is a Japanese flavor. I don't actually know how this ended up in the house. I know which roommate it's from for sure, however. One of our roommates is very into Japan. She's been there many times. She speaks Japanese. And so I don't know what exactly brought this into our house, but I can say with confidence it was probably her doing. It says autumn sweets. Autumn sweets. And this certainly must be a pastry, some kind of fried dough funnel cake situation. But to me, it does kind of look like a mountain of spaghetti topped with a big meatball. Big meatball topper, like the star on a Christmas tree. So, maybe these are spaghetti and meatball flavored. I also got a regular KitKat. 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 So we will try out both of these. And I have brought a pair of child safety scissors for the occasion. So we can go ahead and I didn't cut through it. Let's try that again. classic KitKat bar. Quite a popular candy bar in the United States, and presumably in Japan as well, as I know they have a lot of flavors of KitKat there. So we will set our KitKat off to the side for a moment while we open up this bag of autumn sweets KitKats. We have a piece of the KitKat wrapper cut in here. Here we go. All right. Let's take that away, and we can pull out an individually wrapped KitKat bar. Has very nice, pleasing colors. Has some Japanese nutrition information, I imagine. What is this grid for? Of course, Nestle. The creators of KitKat. So now let's open this second pack. And I'll do the surgery like I did on the first one. All right. Now we have our KitKats revealed. I will remove the KitKat bag. And now we can admire KitKat 1 and KitKat 2. We'll just pop them out. So here we have the original KitKat and the autumn sweet KitKat. You can see a noticeable difference in size between the two of them. I'm guessing this has a white chocolate coating versus this milk chocolate one. But let's snap these in half. And snap number 2. original KitKat. So, you can see that a KitKat is a wafer cookie surrounded by milk chocolate. And it's quite satisfying. As I said, milk chocolate isn't my immediate preference, but, you know, who doesn't like a KitKat bar? So now, I will cleanse my palate with a bit of espresso. And then I will try out the Japanese KitKat. Well, that has a very nice flavor. It's a little bit more complex, I guess. It has the wafer cookie and the exterior chocolate, but there's a kind of a pastry cream thing going on, a sweet pastry cream flavor. It's really quite good. That's delicious. That to me, it very much reminds me of eating a cream pastry, you know. What are those called? Like a cream horn is what I'm thinking of, but there's a lot of pastries, you know, where it's basically just a crunchy, flaky, sweet pastry, and then loaded up with a nice, sweet cream. So that is what this KitKat reminds me of. You know, I don't mind the original KitKat. It's very satisfying, but this is a wonderful variation on it. It's like, you know, a pastry shop KitKat bar. I think I'll finish this one off. Yeah. Have a bit more espresso to really appreciate that. Alright, well, let me throw down the last bite of this KitKat, and we can move on to our next item. So, I will also say this video is kind of an experiment for me. Sorry, I'm moving the bag in and I'm just trying to be quiet with it. So here we have Reese's Oreo miniature cups. You can see a depiction of them here on the side of the bag. But this bag is very big, so I'm going to get it out of the shot and take out an individual Reese's cup. So, this video is a bit of an experiment for me in doing more filmed ASMR in the hopes that, you know, I can do some like show and tell videos, things like that. One thought I'm already having is I should put a towel down over the table, deaden the sounds a little bit. So of course that's a classic of the great Aussie ASMR man. Now I should tell you that this is not a floor mat. This is a towel. And speaking of which, I would also like to shout out the wonderful whispering storyteller. The whispering storyteller is an ASMR channel that I have been watching for many, many, many years. He is a foundation of the ASMR community. He was creating videos long before ASMR really blew up. And he just popped into my mind because recently he's been doing a lot of candy tasting videos. And they've been quite nice. So please do go check him out. I will link him in the description. And you know what, I should shout him out in another video at the beginning because we're like 20 minutes into this thing and a lot of people are probably asleep by now. So Craig, if you're watching, I will give you a better shout out another time. But let's tuck into this Oreo Reese's cup. So we can see it has what seems to be white chocolate or maybe a cream, you know, a solid cream up here, and then a milk chocolate undercarriage. So let's give this a try. Okay. So, you do get the Reese's peanut butter flavor quite strongly. But it does have I think this is probably white chocolate. I think I'm getting a sort of white chocolate flavor. And then maybe a creamy element as well. But then it also has bits of the Oreo cookie inside, if you can see that, which adds a nice textural component, a nice crunch. It's okay. I don't really care for it myself. This one is kind of way too sweet for me, I think. So we will wrap this up in its foil and set it aside. Reese's peanut butter cups were a favorite candy of mine when I was younger. But I do remember once my tastes started to change, I guess maybe in my tweens or early teens, we had Easter one year, and I don't know if you're, familiar with Easter and how it's celebrated, at least in America, but oftentimes candy is given to kids. And so my mom, the loving mother that she was, decided it would be fun to give me a whole Reese's themed Easter basket. So it was a little wicker basket, and it was just full of Reese's cups and Reese's Easter eggs and a giant Reese's bunny and Reese's this and that and that. So, probably like 5 or 6 different varieties of Reese's candy. And I ended up having to tell her, like, hey Mom, I don't actually like Reese's anymore. So we always have a good laugh about that. Thinking about the year that, her Reese's holiday idea was kind of a disaster. So next up, we are getting into, you know what, before we get into the real chocolatey section, I will do this weird one. This is a cowtail. Original caramel. And you can see there is a cartoon of a cow chewing on one of these caramel sticks with the cream inside. And we also have this cow guy here, and he's wearing a little hat. A little hat that says Goodses. So, these, I think the first time I ever had one of these was at Boy Scout camp as a kid, and I think they're kind of bad, but let's give it a try. It's been years since I've had one. At the Boy Scout camp that I went to, and Boy Scouts, if you don't know, they are organization that teaches boys skills, primarily outdoor skills, but a lot of other skills as well. So, at Boy Scout camp, there was a sort of a commissary or a snack shop that you could go spend your pocket change at. And they had these for sale, these cowtails. And I thought it looked kind of good, so I spent, probably a quarter on one of these bad boys. And that thing either, I'm pretty sure what happened is I kind of passed it around to my friends because I tried it and I thought it was really bad. And then it just got passed from friend to friend, just getting a bite taken out of it each time. And nobody liked it, so then I think it ended up in the trash can. This is one of those candies that it always surprises me that it even still exists, Alright, I'll have to clean these scissors after, but let's just give a bite-sized cut rather than biting it ourselves. So, you can see the caramel exterior here, and then this cream center. Let's get the excess out of here. Alright, we have a little nubbin here. Give that a squish. You can see it's kind of pliable and soft. My body is resisting doing this. Let's throw it back. Okay. That was quite a journey. At first I thought, this isn't quite as bad as I remember. And then the longer that I chewed it, the more it revealed that it was actually kind of worse than I remembered. It is very artificial tasting. I'm gonna clear my mouth with some espresso. Thank you for being here. I need your support. It has a very artificial, kind of unpleasant taste. And then, at a certain point, the cream, you're kind of hit with the caramel initially, which is not great. But then the cream comes in, and it almost makes you wish that the caramel would come back. And the cream kind of devolved into this like artificial powdered milk feel. It was kind of chalky. So that was not very good. I will see if I can inflict the rest of that on my roommates later today. But for now, we have Meiji milk chocolate. Meiji milk chocolate. Chocolate flavored confectionery. So we have the nutrition facts here. Serving size 1 package. That's interesting. Normally, when I see chocolate bars, the serving size is like, 4 bricks or something. So it has 280 calories. Total fat is 17 grams. Saturated fat is 11 grams. Trans fat 0 grams. Cholesterol 10 milligrams. Sodium 25 milligrams. Total carbohydrates 28 milligrams. Dietary fiber 3 milligrams. Total sugars 20 milligrams. Protein 4 grams. Vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium. Alright, so here we have the ingredients: sugar, cocoa mass, dry whole milk, cocoa butter, soy lecithin, natural and artificial flavor. Contains milk, coconut, soybean. Produced in a facility that also uses shea nut. Shea nut. What is that? Is that just supposed to be peanut? Shea nut. I hope she does. She deserves it. Okay, distributed by Wismatek Asian Foods Incorporated, Santa Fe Springs, California, 90670. Contains a bioengineered food ingredient product of Japan. Net weight 1.76 ounces, 50 grams. So I don't know what all this means, but it's there. I guess these are, I don't know, maybe the nutrition information in Japanese. Alright, let's crack into this. Can peel this back here. So the chocolate bar itself is wrapped in foil, and it has a paper cover around it. Oh, I tell you, my mouth is already itching from the amount of sugar I've had here. When I say I don't have a sweet tooth, I mean I pretty much never eat candy. Let's unwrap this bad boy. can see it imprinted on the bar, so let's go ahead and snap that once, snap it twice, and I tell you, we're definitely only gonna have one piece. So let's put this foil back together and remove it from the scene. So, I can already tell this video is probably not going to be my best. I'm learning a lot from it though. So thank you for bearing with me as I experiment with filming stuff close up like this. So let's take a bite of this Meiji chocolate. Okay. Well, it's quite good milk chocolate. Very smooth, very sweet. Doesn't have any, it has kind of a creaminess to it. Melts down very delicately and pleasantly on the tongue. We'll finish off this piece. Okay. Well, for milk chocolate, I think it's quite good. That one square is enough for me, but it's very Moorish, I could totally see, just sitting there and throwing back brick after brick of that. But we will move on to another chocolate bar. Of course, that last bar was Japanese, and so I'm sure it came into the house by my roommate as well. We do have one other foreign chocolate bar here. I think it's foreign. I think it's a European one. And it is Milka. 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 Chips Ahoy. So we have an image of the chocolate here, along with a chocolate chip cookie from Chips Ahoy, and the cow, which I believe is standard on Milka bars. 100% alpine milk. So, I have been to Europe before. I've been through Austria, Germany, Italy, and I've been to the UK. And I remember seeing this on UK shelves. So I think This is a European bar. I don't know exactly where it's made or manufactured, although 100% alpine milk, I guess, gives us a clue. We can also see that it uses sustainably sourced cocoa. So we have the European information on the back here, and then a sticker that I imagine is for it to be sold in America. Expiry date is European format, day, month, year. So I am seeing that this chocolate bar is actually expired. It expired on the 7th of January. And I am recording this video on the, I think today is the 19th of January. But expiration dates are, they're guidelines, right? I think this should be fine. Let's crack into it. How are my hands, by the way? Do they look terribly chapped? The winter air is not kind to them. I fight back as best I can with moisturizing, but the longer winter goes on, there's only so much you can do. So this chocolate does not have foil on it. This is a little melted. And we will not pull out the whole bar. We will just go ahead and break off one piece. Okay, it's just kind of crumbling. That's great, actually. This is just as much as I wanted. So we have the Milka bar here with the Chips Ahoy filling inside. So let's try a bite. Yeah, let's just finish it off. It's a pretty standard sweet milk chocolate. The cookie flavor is somewhat mild. The primary way that you know it's a cookie filled chocolate bar is from the texture. They add some crunchy elements, which is a nice, textural variation. But the actual flavor, while different from normal milk chocolate, it does have a bit of that, cookie, like it well enough. It's making my throat itch, however, from the sugar. So we're going to put that away. And we are nearing the end of our snack exploration today. We have 2 more items. So next I will show you my go-to chocolate treat. When, I talk about liking chocolate a lot, I'm thinking of stuff like this. So let me grab it. So this is a chocolate bar from Trader Joe's. Pardon me, I need a little more espresso to wash down that Milka bar. So, we have the dark chocolate lovers chocolate bar, 85% cocoa. And Trader Joe's, as I said, makes this, or sells it. And it says, smooth and fruity, from the Tumaco region of Colombia. Net weight 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. On the back we have the nutrition facts. About 3 servings per container. Serving size 10 pieces. 190 calories per serving. Total fat 15 grams. Saturated fat 9 grams. Cholesterol 0. Sodium 0. Total carbohydrates 10 grams. Dietary fiber 4 grams. Total sugars 5 grams. And 3 grams of protein. For vitamins here we have no vitamin D, 40 milligrams of calcium, 0.6 milligrams of iron, and 180 milligrams of potassium. Ingredients are cocoa mass, sugar, cocoa butter, soy lecithin, emulsifiers, natural vanilla flavor. The soy lecithin is the emulsifier. Alright, so let's crack this puppy open. We have a cardboard box. Which makes quite a loud pop when I pull it free from the tabs, so that will need to go. I'm sure this video will need a lot of sound editing, as I'm not used to working in this environment. So we get 2 bars of chocolate here. And it has the Trader Joe's name here, along with a depiction of a cocoa pod. is identical. And here you can see it says lot 9900284 4865. Sorry, I was looking through the camera and it wasn't focusing. Best before July 24th, 2027, so we should be safe on this one, unlike the Milka bar. So we can go ahead and crack this chocolate bar open. We can see the chocolate revealed there. And you know what, I'll just cut down the middle here with the scissors. I swear I don't have this much trouble opening chocolate bars in real life. I feel like every chocolate bar I've opened today has been a disaster. It's just, suddenly you're doing it for an ASMR video, trying to be very slow and methodical and quiet, and things get difficult. Oh no, this bar is broken. Let's crack this segment here so we can see that some of the bars are imprinted with a blossom design and some are blank. So we will have one of these bad boys. Give it a try. So, it has a nice snap to it. It tastes very fruity. It tastes extra bitter right now because my mouth is so used to the sweet chocolates I've been eating. But one thing I really like about this chocolate, and this applies to, I think, most any, dark chocolate, is that every time you eat it, depending on, a whole range of factors, the temperature of your mouth, the moisture content of your mouth, the, sensitivity of your tongue that day, what you've been eating beforehand, the chocolate tastes very different each time. I mean, very different is a strong way of putting it, but sometimes it really does taste like you're not eating the same piece of chocolate that you ate yesterday. My coffee is completely cold now. So that is fantastic. I really appreciated how fruity it was with this bite. get rid of that. And we will go into our last item today. First, I will finish off my cold coffee. All right. I thought it would be appropriate, after all of this candy, to finish with a nice breath mint. Altoids. Altoids. And I love the packaging for Altoids. They haven't changed it as long as I've been alive. It feels very retro and classic. Let me get my pointer. The original celebrated Altoids. Altoids, curiously strong mints with other natural flavors, peppermint. So, Altoids have looked like this for as long as I've been alive, and I actually hadn't had Altoids in a very long time. I mean, probably over 15 years. And then the other day, I was at the gas station with a friend, and he was like, "My breath stinks, I need to get some breath mints." So I went to get him some breath mints, and I saw the Altoids, and I thought I would love to have an Altoid. It's just been so long, and I remember liking them. And then it was kind of remarkable because as soon as I opened up the tin and smelled that Altoid smell, I was immediately transported back to my dad's truck. I just, for some reason, he kept Altoids in his truck, and he would, give one to me when I was riding with him. If we were going to the town dump to drop off our trash, or if we were going to, church on Sundays or whatever it was. Just one sniff of that Altoid smell, and I was like, 7 years old again, sitting in the big truck, riding with my pop. So that was a fun little memory explosion when I cracked these open. So let's open this up. Altoids are, completely unchanged from when I was a kid. They have the exact same packaging and the exact same little paper thin wrapper inside. So let's take a look. So we have this very papery little wrapper here. It's like as thin as the page of a Bible or something. The curiously strong mints, intense. So we can fold this back. And fold the top back. And see the Altoids in all their glory. They are these chalky little hockey pucks. And they are peppermint. very gently to avoid the snap popping too loudly. So, set these aside. And we have our two altoids here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, altoids. Them on each other. See if they'll stack. Stay up there. There we go. Okay. So, this is a delightful little peppermint. I will pop it in my mouth. And they're kind of a hard candy. Sort of. You can bite into them easily if you want. But what I tend to do is suck on them for a bit. And then at a certain point, the texture kind of changes when they get thin enough. And they almost collapse like honeycomb. And so I like to chew them at that point. But I'll leave you here with this Altoid freshening my breath. Thank you for joining me for this snacking today. I know this was kind of a random video, but I really just wanted to, see if I could do a show and tell setup format kind of like this. And it was a bit of a hack job to get everything set up, so I think I'll need to order some other equipment to make this easier to do. But I think it would be fun to do more stuff like this in the future, so I wanted the option. I wanted to try it out. See how it went. So, thanks for joining me as I just ate a bunch of random candy. And I will see you next